Have you ever stopped to think if the home you love, the place where you feel the safest, could actually be the very space quietly putting you in danger after the age of 70? Not because of strangers or outside threats, but because of small, everyday things inside the house that you don't even notice anymore. Things that slowly turn into hidden traps. The truth is, most seniors after 70 don't realize that their home has slowly changed from being a place of comfort into a place filled with risks. And the scary part is that these risks don't announce themselves. They just sit there, silently waiting until one day they cause a fall, an accident, or even an emergency that could have been avoided. And that's exactly why I want to share with you 14 mistakes that make your home unsafe after 70. Because if you catch them early, you can fix them easily and protect yourself without losing the comfort of the home you love. Mistake number 1 is keeping clutter around. Shoes by the door, stacks of old magazines, little cords stretched across the floor. Things that used to feel harmless now act like traps, because after 70 balance isn't as steady, and one small trip could mean months of pain. Which is why clearing your pathways isn't about neatness anymore. It's about staying independent. Mistake number 2 is poor lighting. Because as vision changes with age, what feels normal light and actually leaves shadows and blind spots where your foot or cane could miss a step. And instead of relying on old bulbs, it's smarter to switch to bright, energy-efficient lighting with motion sensors so you never have to fumble in the dark. Mistake number 3 is keeping loose rugs or mats, because while they may look cozy, they slide, curl, or fold in ways that can throw you off balance in seconds. And no matter how careful you are, a single slip can do real damage. So securing them with non-slip backing or removing them altogether is a life-saving choice. Mistake number 4 is putting things too high or too low, like heavy pots on the top shelf or cleaning bottles under the sink, because climbing, stretching, or bending feels normal until your knee gives out or your hand slips, and then suddenly you're stuck in pain from something that could have been avoided if those items were simply kept within easy reach. Mistake number 5 is the bathroom, which might feel safe but is actually one of the most dangerous rooms in the house, with wet tiles, no grab bars, and slippery tubs, all waiting for one wrong move. So adding non-slip mats, sturdy bars, and maybe even a shower chair is not losing independence. It's protecting it. Mistake number 6 is hanging on to old furniture arrangements. The coffee table you've had for years, or the armchair sitting just a little too close to the hallway, might not have mattered before. But now they become obstacles in your path that could knock you off balance. So rearranging to give yourself clear walking space actually makes your home more peaceful and safe. Mistake number 7 is forgetting about smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors. Because maybe they're old, maybe their batteries are dead, or maybe your hearing has changed and you don't even realize you wouldn't hear them in time. So upgrading to modern alarms and checking them regularly can be the difference between safety and disaster. Mistake number 8 is medication mess. And I'm not just talking about forgetting a pill, but how scattered bottles and confusing schedules can cause overdoses, dizziness, or fainting spells that directly lead to accidents at home. So setting up a clear, simple system for medications is as much about preventing falls as it is about staying healthy. Mistake number 9 is holding on to old flooring, slippery wood, torn carpets, cracked tiles that look fine but quietly turn into trip zones every single day And while replacing or repairing might feel like too much work, it's a lot less costly than recovering from a hip fracture. Mistake number 10 is ignoring electrical safety. Because overloaded outlets, old cords, and decades-old appliances may not feel dangerous until one sparks or overheats, and suddenly your home is filled with smoke. So taking the time to check wires and use safe outlets is a step toward peace of mind. Mistake number 11 is not having emergency items within reach. Because in the middle of a blackout or after a sudden fall, trying to search for a flashlight or your phone can waste the very minutes that matter most, which is why having a little emergency station with flashlights, charged phones, and emergency contacts right where you need them is one of the smartest things you can do. Mistake number 12 is leaving the kitchen unchanged, where heavy pans, sharp knives, and slick floors all combine to create risks every time you cook. So making small updates like using lighter pots, non-slip mats, and good storage makes cooking enjoyable instead of dangerous. Mistake number 13 is forgetting about the entryway. Loose steps, shaky railings, or dim lighting outside might feel small, but they can cause serious accidents when you least expect it. So strengthening railings, adding ramps if needed, and keeping the porch well lit is an investment in freedom. And mistake number 14, the one most people don't think about, is not preparing for emergencies at all. Because without a plan, without a medical alert device, without a trusted neighbor checking in, a small fall can turn into a full crisis. But with just a few precautions, you can make sure help is always within reach. The bottom line is that these 14 mistakes are easy to ignore because they don't feel urgent, but they're the exact things that can take away your independence in an instant if they're not fixed. And by making these changes, you're not giving up your home. You're making sure your home continues to protect you as much as you've loved it all these years. So take a look around today and ask yourself, which of these mistakes are waiting quietly in my home? And which ones can I fix right now so that I can keep living here with safety, freedom, and peace of mind for many more years to come?